Hi, I'm Kelly Patrick, and this is the Resilient Grove. This is our gathering place for honest conversations about healing, resilience, and the courage it takes to grow through life's hardest seasons. Let's take a moment before we begin. I invite you all to join us. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Make yourself comfortable, and let's get started. I am here with Dr. Aimee Polgar, owner and clinic director of Westside Chiropractic and Wellness. Welcome.
Thank you.
We first met at the health and wellness event that I did, but we really connected, and this is my favorite topic, over morality. And morality of, I guess, authentic wellness and marketing-driven wellness. So let's start with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think obviously we bonded over that because being in the wellness world, I think we both as business owners understand and connect with the people that do it because they genuinely love it and they have a passion for it. And then on the contrary, kind of the people that do it because, I mean, wellness is a huge trend right now, which is amazing. I think at the end of the day, that's only going to benefit our communities more, but
it opens the door.
It's tough to be in it, working your butt off for kind of a homegrown business, and then you see somebody that's doing it for just the profits. But at the end of the day, I do believe that people like you and I connect. You know, you build a better community when you have passion in it or when you have experience in it versus you're just doing it because it's the
short-term
money.
money.
Yeah, it's the next big wellness trend that could potentially make you lots of money.
I think that's the thing is that for us, people like us, we have to dive in knowing that it's going to be a long-term process and you have to work hard and it's not going to be easy. Whereas some of those people look at a opportunity to make money real fast, real soon with not the wellness in mind. That's my experience with a lot of them.
Absolutely. And I want chiropractic has been my career and I want it to be my career forever.
Right.
Whereas some people just want to open up shop. They have a ton of money to throw at a business. They get it up and running really quick. They burn really hard and really long for 5 to 7 years, and then they go out of business. They made their money, and they're okay with that. Like, that's not my plan for the long term.
Yeah.
I want it to be a huge part of my life.
Sustainable.
Yes, and sustainable. Yeah. Absolutely.
So on that note, do you feel it's important to educate your patients?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to educate people on, and I think from a morality standpoint, educating people on what you're recommending to them, what businesses you work with is really important, especially, when you said that, it made me think of like the supplement world. So many people need supplements. If I just wanted to make money, I could recommend all the same supplements to all the same people, but not everyone needs all those things, right? So being able to have the guidance to choose what people actually need versus what you should sell them or could sell them, I think is something that I think puts people in sometimes a hard position, right? Like, we're business owners, we have to make money in order to keep the lights on, to provide a business for our community, but you also have to have good morals and good standards as to,
At the end of the day, you have to go to sleep.
Exactly, yes. And that's always, I tell people, like, that's one of my biggest things is like, I want to be able to lay down at night and be able to sleep, because I'm sure there's some business owners in this world that can't do that, and that's just not where I'm at, so educating people on what you're recommending, what you're giving them, what they need, what they don't need, I think is also just as important, right? I'm the type of person, like, I try all the trendy wellness stuff because I like to have a good, authentic recommendation for somebody about it. And sometimes it's like, yeah, that's great, that's fun, that's a great wellness trend. Does it feel good? Yes, but do you need it? Probably not. Or is there a cheaper alternative? Probably. So I think it's again, it comes back to authenticity of what people need versus just what
selling them a product.
You sell somebody to put another dime in your pocket.
In my experience with both the medical world and the wellness world, I got shunned for educating people.
Oh yeah. It's wild.
Bizarre.
It is wild. I just had a coffee meeting with another person in the wellness and fitness industry, and we were kind of laughing a little bit about just the medical side of things and how uneducated sometimes the medical practitioners are. So I think when we educate our patients, our clients, our friends about things, they almost have a chip on their shoulder because they're not as well educated in wellness. So it almost becomes a competition between us because they feel like we're stepping on their feet. But I always tell people, it's not their fault. They're not trained like we're trained. They don't get the education we get.
Like the patients get in the middle of listening to me versus listening to their doctor.
Yeah, it's hard.
And they want to believe their doctor because it's the doctor.
Right.
He's been medically trained.
Yeah.
But then I'm saying something different. And it just felt like a lot of times they weren't hearing me because they're so focused on what the doctor was saying.
100%.
And it wasn't good information that the doctor was giving them.
Yeah.
It was a frustrating position for me to be in.
Absolutely. And it is hard. I think the generational change is happening where my grandparents, even my parents, whatever the doctor said goes. Mm-hmm. Now people are having more resources to do their own research, to look into something. It's easier to access the research studies or ask friends. Things are more talked about.
Yes.
So people are making their own decisions for their health and wellness versus just doing as the doctor says.
That's good to hear.
But it's still a battle sometimes.
Breaking that old patterns.
Yes, absolutely.
So what made you decide to open up your own chiropractic and wellness?
I don't know, all sorts of stuff. I feel like that's such a hard question. I've been a chiropractor now for 9 years. It'll be 10 years.
And you were always working for someone else?
Year. Yeah, always worked with someone else.
Were you someone that had your own business as a long-term goal?
Absolutely not.
Whoa.
I actually never wanted to own my own business.
Interesting.
Even though I come from a family of business owners, I really saw the benefits to having a business partner. So I was a partner at my former clinic. And it was really nice to have that yin and yang, but just like any other partnership in life, relationships, romantic partnerships, business partnerships, eventually sometimes you just grow apart and there's nothing good or bad about it. It's just you're no longer aligned on certain things. And at the end of the day, if I wanted to, live out the life that I thought was destined for me, I knew that I had to
branch out on my own.
So it was time.
Wow. Yeah. Well, where are you at in the process right now?
So we are under construction, a lot of construction. We have walls up, we have some drywall up. We're moving along. We're hoping to be open sometime in mid-October, fingers crossed.
And you're in Avon?
Yep, we're in Avon, location-wise, right off of Nagel and Lear Industrial Parkway, so right by the new Avon Cleveland Clinic up there.
Okay.
We're moving and grooving.
Do you live in Avon? Is that why you picked Avon?
I did. Yeah, I do. So I grew up on the West Side. I'm familiar with the West Side. That's
so is that why you named it West Side?
Kind of. Naming it was another really hard thing for me because I think I overthought every little bit of it. So I just went with something super, super basic and still kind of location-wise, but not too specific. Avon is a great place. We just moved to Avon about 3 years ago. Westlake I consider home. And I'm excited to branch a little bit further west and get to know the Sheffield communities, Elyria, just out that way a little bit more because
there's not much out there.
My former bubble kind of stopped in Avon. So it's kind of exciting to me to, connect a little bit further west. And
so on that note, wellness and any health and wellness really is known for people with money.
Yeah.
I was going to go into Avon as well when I was looking for a place to open a studio because that's where the money is. Health, for me, it's a hard part to talk to people who I know can't afford some of these wellness services because it just feels like, well, great. I want to recommend this service to you, but I know that you're not going to be able to afford it. How do you navigate those gaps?
Yeah, that's tough. I just was having a conversation with a friend. I was like, can I just win the lottery so I can open up a free clinic?
Yeah.
Because I think most practitioners, they do it because they want to help people and they want to serve people, and not necessarily because a profit comes with it. But there's also the balance of you need to make a little bit of money to continue to serve your community.
Yeah.
I think people can afford it. I just don't know if they want to.
I like
if that makes sense.
I like that they don't make it a priority.
They don't make it a priority, and I think you have to really buckle down and look at a lot more in life to figure out if it's something that you want to afford. I think a lot of people probably can afford different services, but they might have to give up the daily coffee or the Uber Eats delivery every day. We as a society, I feel like spend so much money on stuff that 15, 20 years ago wasn't even a thing. So why are we struggling? And don't get me wrong, the economy right now is not what it was 5 years ago. So I know that that's a huge,
but that's
barrier
that's
as well.
a perfect answer,
yeah,
though.
I think you just have to decide truly what's a priority in life.
Yeah.
And if you want it,
you'll find a way to make it happen.
Find a way to make it happen. And again, like, at least my philosophy is, if somebody wants it bad enough and they communicate with that with me, like, we'll figure something out. We'll put you on an in-house payment plan. Like, I'll make it work for you, but you have to want it bad enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then there's people that have millions of dollars and don't value,
and they don't do it either.
Wellness.
Right?
So
that's true. That's true.
I think it's more of that want versus can or cannot.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what drew you to chiropractic care to begin with?
Long story, I guess. So I was always thinking like medicine ever since I was a little kid. Like, at first it was like, oh, I want to be a vet. And then it was traditional medical field. And actually in college, I was taking, all the prereqs for med school. I had actually applied to med school, taken the MCAT. I was seeing a chiropractor because I used to bodybuild and powerlift, and I kind of tweaked my back, and she was young, successful, super cool, and she actually wrote me a recommendation letter for medical school. And one day she asked me, like, hey, have you ever considered chiropractic? And I was like, no, not really, and I think her just sparking that made me dig a little bit deeper into the requirements for school, what I needed to do.
What was your initial goal? Like, what, just medical doctor?
Just medical school, and then I was thinking like orthopedics. I kind of always wanted to work like in the sports medicine realm, be able to work with athletes, be able to work with, adult populations.
Yeah.
And when she brought that up, and I was like, maybe that's something I should look into before I commit to anything else. So I dove a little bit deeper into.
Did she see something in you, or what?
I think I was on a treatment plan with her, so I was there 3 times a week, twice a week for a few months, in a row, and I think we just got to bond a little bit and we got to know each other, and I think she knew I wanted to go to be some sort of doctor, and then just my lifestyle, my goals, I think she thought, hey, maybe I should say something
lines up more with
sooner
that
rather than later to see if it's something she's interested in. So
isn't that great how there's people like that that just kind of nudge you along the path that you're supposed to be on?
Right. And I'm still Facebook friends with her. I ran into her last time I was in Tampa at a bar, you know what I mean? So it's cool to see those people who, like, I wouldn't really consider her a mentor per se, but like, she was the one that kind of
opened your eyes.
Opened that door for me without me even realizing it.
With yoga, I was in physical therapy school. I wanted to be OT and PT for whatever reason. I don't know. At the time, I felt like it was going to make me more a valuable employee. It wouldn't have, but I didn't know at the time.
Right.
And she was like, "Do you ever consider yoga?" I was like, "No, not really." I mean, she knew I was into muscles. She knew I was into the body, and she's like, "Well, you should try yoga," and that's all it took.
Isn't that amazing? Like, it's just one little light that goes on. You're like, wait, maybe I should look into that. Yeah.
And again, we're still friends today, and I still credit her for opening that door for me. So
that's amazing.
All right, so let's break some stereotypes. My favorite part. People like to think chiropractic care is, I'm going to use the word quack. Yeah. Right? Or all they do is just crack backs.
Yes.
So let's set it straight.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I love this. It is cracking backs.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's literally what I do.
It's not backs, it's necks, it's joints, it's elbows. Yeah.
We're aligning the joints.
I like that,
so
aligning.
That's really the goal, is to the kind of the fancy word in the chiropractic world we use is a subluxation. That's like, dislocation is like joint completely out of the socket. Subluxation is misaligned joint, which then causes restricted movement, mobility issues, pain, pinched nerves, that type of thing. So we're reducing those subluxations. We're getting rid of those small misalignments in your joints to help you restore mobility. But really the foundation of chiropractic, which a lot of people don't know or don't realize, is nervous system balance. So because the spinal cord runs down the spine, every time you give a spinal adjustment, it is balancing your nervous system. Sometimes that nervous system needs to be woken up. Sometimes that nervous system needs to be calmed down. There are certain places in your body that can do, both extremes. So yes, we are controlling or helping things musculoskeletally.
So talk more about that. So
Yeah.
if subluxation, right? How is that affecting the nervous system? I mean, I know, but go ahead and give a example of that.
When spinal cord runs down, I should have brought a little spine with me. Spinal cord runs down, the middle of the spine encloses it. All the nerves that control literally everything in your body come off of that spinal cord. So if those nerves are stuck, entangled, even if they're like crimped a little bit because there's a misalignment in that spine, you're gonna get abnormal nerve signal to the body. And so sometimes that abnormal nerve signal means pain. That's what most people come to the chiropractor for. Sometimes that abnormal signal is digestive issues. Sometimes it's sinus issues, breathing issues. Sometimes it's migraines or visual disturbances. So
do you find that a lot of people don't make that connection?
Correct. So it's becoming more common because I think honestly social media is bringing more awareness to what chiropractic does outside of pain management. But most people have no idea how the nervous system is so involved with the musculoskeletal system, specifically the spine, because they've never just been educated on that. So we do really well with the classic neck pain, mid-back pain, low back pain, sciatica, headaches, migraines. That's like bread and butter, easy peasy. I almost guarantee anyone that comes into my office with those types of conditions, we can help. But it's really cool to see the people that come in with low back pain that then realize, oh, my menstrual cycle's improving, or my digestion's improving, or I've been, chronically constipated my whole life, and now all of a sudden I'm going to the bathroom regularly, like, holy shit, what did you do to me? And it's like, well, I just pretty much allowed your nerves to flow like they were supposed to flow. I always tell people, like, your spine and your nervous system is like the fuse box in the back of your house. If you have one thing off, you got to turn that back on for anything to get the energy. So when you have a subluxation, it could be turning something off, and so your body's not functioning like it was designed to function.
True story. I had an electrical fire, and learning how the electrical patterns go, I could relate biologically.
Yeah, I mean,
so
your
when
body
they were
is just
explaining it
one
to me,
big panel.
I could put it into my medical terms and understand it's the exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's why people can feel buzzing, tingling, all sorts of electrical-like sensations in your body because your system is pretty much just one big electrical panel.
I love that. Okay. All right. So you treat patients of all ages.
Correct.
So let's look at the difference between how you would treat, knowing what you just said, how you treat an infant versus how you would treat a senior.
Yeah. So obviously the types of adjustments we do are very different. So when we see infants, children, their joints aren't fully developed yet, so they don't necessarily pop and crack when you adjust them.
What would an infant need to come in for?
So we see a lot of infants for birth-related trauma. So as we can imagine, being shoved through a small hole can put a lot of pressure on the body. So oftentimes if labor and delivery are rough, long, aggressive, they had to use force to get the baby out, there can be some trauma to the spine, to the neck of the child. So we always just want to check them to make sure nervous system is good and functioning. But we treat a lot of babies and kids for things like digestive issues. So whether that's constipation, diarrhea, reflux, obviously a lot in infants, that's very huge. Sometimes it's just chronic tension from them being so wound up and having some nervous system imbalance. And then as they get a little bit older, I see a lot of kids and like preteens for things like chronic ear infections, as well as like lung disorders, so asthma, that type of stuff. We're also seeing more kids, and it's super cool to see with like hyperactivity disorders. Again, just trying to balance that nervous system to allow that child to kind of be set up for success if it is coming from
How do you
their
educate
spine.
the mass public that this is available to you?
Yeah.
Because the first, in my mind, the first reaction is everybody just wants to go to a medical doctor, let's get some medicine. How do you educate people for what you just said? Like, who would think to go to a chiropractor for a child with asthma?
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, really, I think that's like what I find so beautiful about social media, because there's so much more awareness to those kind of random things that you can get checked out for. So truly the power of having also like your own patients talk about it to their friends and family, because the mom community is strong.
Big. You talk.
You
yeah.
know, you have one mom
Yeah.
whose baby that had reflux got helped with chiropractic. Now you have the whole community lining up at your door to help their babies. So truly, like, just educating and encouraging your patients to talk and refer people is huge. Social media, I think, is huge. I think it just gets awareness out there. And then really just trying to do things like this, just talk about kind of the unknown parts of your career that people don't necessarily know about as much as the other things is super cool. And it's important because, you know, one person can listen to this podcast and their life could be changed because they're able to bring their child or their dad or something that they didn't even know chiropractic care could help with.
I love that. I love that. So let's one myth you want to crack open, literally.
Ooh, no pun intended.
Yes.
One myth.
One myth to me is
that's tough.
Whenever a lot of people, knowing that I'm in the holistic wellness field, like a lot of people come to me, well, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest questions is, how do you feel about chiropractic?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I have been going for years and years. I found them when I was pregnant. I don't know why people didn't tell me sooner.
Right.
I had to suffer for a long time when I was pregnant before I finally found a chiropractor. But before that, you know, it's just like, I don't need my back cracked. There's nothing wrong with me, right? So that was a myth for me, that it's not just about cracking backs.
For sure, and that's a good myth. I would say so many people don't realize that chiropractic can help more than just the pain. You know,
I like what you said earlier. It balances the nervous system.
Right. So it's more about the preventative health care versus just waiting until you have a symptom or have a problem. And I think that's just kind of a societal issue that we're working through right now. Is in America, we are trained to wait until we have symptoms to do something about it. And, you know, that's not right nor wrong. It's just how we were raised. That's how we're trained.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Exactly. So I think one of my goals is just to educate people on the holistic things is, hey, go get, you know, the full spine evaluation. See what's going on.
So talk about that. What would be a first visit for someone?
So a first visit, come in, we do a really in-depth consultation. So to me, and it's something we actually learned in chiropractic school, like the patient will tell you what's wrong with them if you just listen. You know, so doing a really in-depth consultation, talking about what's going on currently, their past medical history, their past social history, former traumas, whether that's physical, emotional, chemical traumas that they're dealing with day to day. That's really important. Obviously, we do a full spine physical exam, so, and also orthopedic testing, really figuring out if they do have pain, where that pain's coming from, because where pain isn't always where problem is.
Right.
So understanding where the actual problem is so we can fix the problem and not just address the pain, that's really important. A lot of biomechanical testing. I would consider myself kind of a biomechanical specialist. Like when the body is not moving properly, something's going to start to compensate. So really seeing how the body's moving. And then one of the most important things that we do are take x-rays. So obviously chiropractic care can be a little scary for a lot of people. And as long as you have
to talk about all of that.
Yes, exactly. And as long as you're, you know, healthy and safe to take x-rays, we take digital x-rays. I usually do motion study x-rays where I actually have you move a little bit on x-rays so I can see what's going on in motion. And x-rays are important for me, number one, just to see general spine health. Obviously I'm cracking bones, I'm moving things around. If that spine's not healthy or safe to be adjusted, I need to know that. And then it's also important for the patient to see what their spine looks like. We don't know what the insides of our body looks like unless we have testing. So I think it's really cool just from an education standpoint that patients go over their x-rays with me in detail and understand exactly kind of what I see. And then kind of thirdly, it's cool when, you know, we finish a treatment plan or a year later we take some new x-rays. It's important people that realize they feel better, you know, that's the most important thing, but you actually are better. Structurally, we actually have made a change. People invest so much time, energy, and money into care. And yes, of course it's important that you feel better, but I want you to actually know that the investment you made worked. It helped you. And sometimes that's a 1 degree improvement. Sometimes that's a 35-degree improvement in curves, but it's cool to kind of get that positive reinforcement that the hard work that they did actually paid off.
Yeah, so, I like. How do you hope to see the chiropractic field evolve?
Oh man, I mean,
I like all the direction that you just talked about, so hopefully that.
I hope it becomes more talked about in the community. I hope it becomes more recognized when it comes to what I'm going to call the traditional medical fields, and it is. Cleveland Clinic has chiropractors, UH has chiropractors, so it's getting there. I hope community members are less afraid. I think so many people.
Do you think fear is really what blocks people the most?
I think there's a lot of fear out there, and I think it's irrational.
Like fear is like you're going to hurt me type of fear?
Fear of, number one, fear of, do I have a problem? You know, being diagnosed with something. Fear of, it's going to hurt. So I think just more education is always good, you know, educating the people about what chiropractors can do. And then most importantly, I hope more people go to chiropractic school. What
does that look like right now? Like the students going into...
Yeah, so I mean, the classes seem to be getting bigger. There's not a ton of chiropractic schools across the country.
Where did you go?
I went to Palmer College of Chiropractic. Their main campus is in Davenport, Iowa. That's like where chiropractic started. I went to their Florida campus in Port Orange, Florida, which is like the Daytona Beach area. So Palmer's a big school. Life University in Atlanta is a big school.
So it's not really accessible.
It's not as accessible, and I think it's not as, I don't know what the word is. It's, you know, if you don't know about chiropractic school in college, sometimes you don't know it's a career option. You know, unless you have chiropractic experience, you saw a chiropractor, you know a chiropractor. So again, I think just the awareness of what a career in chiropractic can do. I talk about it all the time. Like, I love treating patients, but having my background could also set me up for so many things. I mean, similar to OT, PT, yoga, having anatomy experience can open up so many doors for you, which is great. So I hope people see it as a positive education versus just, oh, it's really expensive to go to chiropractic school.
Or it's not covered under insurance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it covered under insurance?
So yes and no. It depends on the plan. More insurances are covering chiropractic, or they're giving X amount of visits to use.
Yeah.
The insurance field right now, as I'm sure you know, just from, you know, the community talking about it, it's just, it ebbs and flows as to, you know, whether it's a good thing or bad thing this year. Each state is different. Each company is different. So
on that note, how do you stay up with all of that?
It's exhausting. Yeah, it's exhausting. I mean, thank God for continuing education. And the one thing that honestly kind of sucks as a provider is it's your responsibility to stay up on it. And, you know, you're in a contract with an insurance company, and if you don't bill correctly, they can come after you. Like, it's just, there's so many good and bad things about insurance right now. Unfortunately, where we're at, like today, I would say there's probably more bad than good with insurance. But again, like, it ebbs and flows depending on the years and the laws that are passed and all that type of stuff. I think the one thing people should know is that with chiropractic care, just like a lot of other alternative services, it oftentimes is less expensive to self-pay than it is to use your insurance. Because if you use your insurance, it has to be your copay, it has to go toward the deductible. Whereas, you know, a private practice can give you a time of service discount, which might be a lot more affordable than going through an insurance company.
On that note, one of your goals is to promote proactive care, not reactive care.
Yes.
So what does that mindset shift look like in the everyday life for the average person?
Ooh, the mindset shift is...
like the shift I just talked about I made.
Yeah, it's just realizing health is wealth. You know, yes, it might cost you a little bit of money now, but it's going to save you thousands of dollars later in life. You know, if you're staying healthy now, it's going to save you thousands of dollars just later in life.
Why do you think people don't, because we're so focused on the here and the now, we don't have the foresight to see?
Yeah, and I think it's just like we talked about, like, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
And it's also the comfort of knowing that you have health insurance. Everybody has that, oh, you don't have health insurance?
Right.
It's like it's a fear.
It is. It's a huge fear.
Yeah.
You know, because I think we all think of the catastrophic events. Like, what if I get hit by a car? What if my appendix bursts and it's going to cost me, you know, $50,000? Like, it could happen. Absolutely.
Right.
but what's the actual chance of it happening? And it's, any insurance, right? The insurance company is betting you're going to get sick, or you're betting you're going to get sick. The insurance company is
betting
hoping
that you're not.
don't,
Yeah, right.
So it's just this game.
And then when you do, they're going to find loopholes why they don't have to pay for it.
Exactly. I think that's one of the biggest frustrations I have is that, I just went for a dermatology, just like my annual once over, because I love the sun and I have melanoma in my family history. And I was there for maybe 5 minutes and I just got my EOB, $90. Like, it's sad, but I'm thankful that I can afford that, but a lot of people can't. Or again, a lot of people don't want to.
$90 for 5 minutes?
That's $100 out of my pocket for a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for a lot of people to do that. And then you wonder why we're a sick community is because we're not encouraged to do the wellness.
We're not encouraged to take care of ourselves.
Exactly.
That's what I learned in the health and wellness field.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They don't want you to get better.
Our country should reward people for taking care of themselves and staying healthy versus rewarding the people that don't.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, so if someone has never been to a chiropractor, what would you like to tell them? What would you like them to know before walking into your door?
I want them to know that, like, it's a safe space, number one.
Nice.
Most chiropractors, I should say, it's a safe space. That
yours. Let's talk about yours. Yours is,
mine is a very safe space, and that, my goal is to figure out what's going on. And also my goal is to make sure that regardless of whether it's with me, another provider, a different type of therapy, that I want the best for you as the patient. So if you come to me and it's not something I think I can help with, or it's not something I think chiropractic is going to be good for, like, I'm going to tell you that. So I think it's a really great place to
learn more about yourself.
Learn about yourself, get things figured out. Most chiropractors, especially in our office, like, they want you to be better. So even if it's not being a patient in our office, hey, maybe it's a massage, or maybe it's PT, OT, maybe it's taking up yoga, whatever that looks like for that patient. Like, we want them to be well, and that's the biggest priority.
You did say that when we met. Do you want to make those, build those connections with people so that you can pass?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you need a little chiropractic care, you need a little PT, some yoga would probably be beneficial. You need some supplementation, some dietary changes. Like, most of the time it's not one, one fix, right?
All right, we talked about where people can find you. You're in Avon.
Correct.
What is the address?
33700 Lear Industrial Parkway.
Are you taking appointments now?
Not quite yet. Our schedules haven't opened just because I'm not 100% sure of actual opening date, but we're hoping to be open mid to end October at the absolute latest. And if people just keep an eye on the website or on our Instagram, we'll let everyone know, like, when the schedules go live for both chiropractic and massage therapy.
And you're on Facebook and Instagram?
Facebook and Instagram,
okay.
Yes.
So your motto is make lives better. What does that phrase mean to you?
Cool. So many things. So making lives better, number one, for the community, for patients, being a trusted resource in our area that people can come and get checked out. And most people come with pain, so we can help them feel better. Making lives better for other practitioners, other companies. Like, it is being a connector in the community is one of the favorite things I do. I love meeting new businesses, connecting my people with my other people so that they can network. Because I've seen the people that or the people that you can connect with, like, could change your trajectory of success. And then thirdly, it's a lot about my team. So one of the biggest passions I have of opening this new office is making a beautiful, safe space for the team, for employees. I believe everyone should love what they do, or at least really like it. So having a beautiful space, a space where there's a nice break room if you're staying over lunch. I want the team members to enjoy being in the clinic versus
it's a job.
Exactly, versus it's a job. And it's a job, right? Like, I'm not expecting people to love it as much as I do. Exactly. And I want them to be comfortable in the space and be proud of the space. So it's obviously the team, the community, and the patients is making everyone's lives a little better, because we know it, like, life can be tough some weeks, like, everyone has rough days, good days. So, like, if we can make life a little bit better for one person one day, like, that to me is what I'm on earth for.
I'm glad you said that. You were born to be a business owner.
Heck yeah.
Listening to you talk, knowing that wasn't your path, Thank God for people who gently nudged you
100%.
because look how much of a leader you are.
Yeah, I
How
think-
many companies really care about their patient, their community, their staff?
Yeah, I think not
Aimee.
everything happens for a reason. I don't love that verbiage, but I think you end up kind of where you're destined to be somehow. Sometimes it can be a rougher path than others probably, but I do believe that at the end of the day, you end up where you're destined to be, and I'm thankful for that, even though that's not necessarily what I thought I wanted 5 or 10 years ago. Yeah, exactly.
So on that note, give yourself a piece of advice, whatever age you want to go back to, what would you like to tell yourself, your previous self?
Oh, I would say, I feel like this is cliche, just do it. Don't overthink it, just do.
I like that, do. I just had that conversation the other day with my daughter. You got to do sometimes.
And
got to get out of that
if it doesn't
thinking
work
mode.
out, oh well, do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just take that step.
Yeah, take that leap of faith.
Yes.
I love it.
You've got to take a step forward, otherwise you're going to stay where you're at your entire life, and
That's
most
no
of
place
us,
to be.
Exactly. That's not serving anyone.
Aimee, thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I hug you?
Yes.
You're the bomb.